Hello, my friend, Chef Blondie here. Today, hubby and I, Old Fuzzy, we have a special treat for you. We're going to be making spelt bread using the bread machine. It is 100 degrees here and way too hot for Mr. Clyde, our great oven, to be at 450 degrees because we live in an old farmhouse that has limited air conditioning. So anyway, we're going to be putting this together and I know that you're going to love it. Happy cooking. Hello, my friends. Chef Blondie here. This is only take 3. So let me introduce you to my sous chef, Fuzzy.
Hi there. I messed up a couple of times. So the idea here is that we've had problems in the past with some of our bread machine bread because what we call a cup of flour is actually sometimes too much flour.
And it gets very sticky.
So rather than using cups, the one thing that we do measure in grams is the flour and the whole grain that we're going to mill.
So Fuzzy is going to be making spelt bread in the bread machine because it is 100 degrees and too hot for Mr. Clyde to be on today at 450 degrees. So anyway, the spelt grains, they're an ancient grain. And so we're going to need approximately 281 grams.
Approximately 281.
Right.
Nope, too much, 286.
Oh no, that's way too much.
276.
Yeah, and I've made this before and it really is good. And we do the 1.5 pound because our bread machine is small, and when we've tried to do 2 pounds, it just doesn't work.
281.
Oh, good job, Fuzzy.
I'll get it right sometime. Every time.
Every time. Every time.
Hello. Mr. Monty here. Old Fuzz face messes up every time. This time he messed up the voiceover, and I have to do it for him. Chef Blondie and Fuzzy going to show you how they adapted a recipe for spelt bread from the Bread Lover's Bread Machine Cookbook by Beth Hensperger. Spelt, also known as Triticum spelta, is an ancient grain that has been cultivated since at least 5000 BC. This ancient grain has many nutritional benefits. It's high in nutrients. It's a good source of fiber. It has a high protein content. It's good for heart health. It's easier to digest. And it's a source of antioxidants. These days, spelt flour or spelt berries are widely available. For example, Bob's Red Mill organic spelt flour can be purchased through Walmart.
Now hubby is getting ready to start the grain mill to grind up the spelt berries. So hold on to your ears. I love this mock mill. Good job, Fuzzy.
Thank you.
I've forgotten what setting do you put that on?
It's on 1.
Okay.
It's the finest.
Yeah, the fine setting.
This is adjustable.
Okay, yes. Yeah, the mock mill is great. Okay, now we're going to need 94 grams of all-purpose flour, and we always use King Arthur all-purpose flour. Yeah, Old Fuzzy here, he is the bread maker. Most of the time. Most of the time, I use a bread machine and he does the sourdough. This is a yeast bread. Okay, my friends, let's get this bread going in the bread machine. First of all, you're going to mix your dry ingredients. And so we've got the spelt flour and the all-purpose flour. What do we got here? 2 tablespoons of dark brown sugar. and 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And this calls for gluten. And it's, where's my thingy here? 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon. Gluten goes in. Okay, and then we're going to save the yeast for last. So get the rest of that out. And I'm going to have Fuzzy here. Well, I can do it, but he really does a good job with the Swedish whisk. You have to get this all incorporated and mixed together. The wet ingredients always go in first. And so we have a 1/3 cup of water. And we also have 1/2 cup of buttermilk. And if you do not have buttermilk on hand, you can always make it by using milk with a little bit of lemon juice or vinegar, and that works just fine. I've done it. Now we're going to add 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And it also calls for 1 tablespoon of soft butter. Here it goes. Now we're going to put in the dry ingredients. Sometimes I get a little bit impatient putting in the dry ingredients, but you shouldn't, because it'll end up going everywhere. All right, let's see if I can get this last little bit in here without making a humongous mess. All right, now one of the last ingredients will be your yeast. And what I do is I make a little well right down there and pour your yeast into that little well. All right, now let's get this into the bread machine. Thingy off here. This is always a trick for me to get this thing back in here. There it goes. All right, so we're going to put this on the whole wheat cycle. That's here. This is program 3. And then we're going to put it on. It says, the recipe says dark. So let's figure out where that one is. Here we go. See you when it's done.
When Chef Blondie sliced into our cooled loaf of spelt bread, she found a beautiful interior with a soft, even crumb. She was delighted by the subtle nutty taste. She described it as being simply irresistible. Based on our test results and a taste test by our dear friend Nancy, this spelt bread recipe will deliver a loaf with unique texture and flavor. It's a great choice for sandwiches, toast, or simply enjoyed on its own slathered with butter. Spelt may be an ancient grain, but in our estimation, it's a modern bread wonder. Try out this recipe, and happy baking!